Hey, what's up, everyone? Gonna be doing another Rogues video today, testing for the Mythic Qualifier weekend, or whatever it's called now. As you can see, though, the list is considerably different. If you watched my last video, I was trying to work on red-black a little bit because I said I was a little bit down on Rogues. I thought the mono-red matchup was a little hard. There was kind of still a lot of hate for it. The aggressive decks packing a lot of escape cards tend to be tough matchups, but then I saw Moto player do well in a couple challenges last week by the name of Tesla Cow. It's sort of an interesting take on the deck, and I've tweaked their list a bit, but most of it is their ideas. So basically, the big point of Rogues is you're very reliant on Into the Story for your card advantage, and it's very overcosted when it's bad, so it's very important to keep them at a density of cards in the graveyard to turn on Into the Story, because you basically need them to win, because you 1-for-1 and then you pull it within the story. But what this deck does is replace Into the Story with some other forms of card advantage, like Behold the Multiverse and Mazemind Tome, essentially allowing you to be much less reliant on actually putting cards into your opponent's graveyard. So it makes transitioning and sideboarding a lot easier. It makes it way easier to just control how many cards you're actually putting to the yard. We really don't have to mess around with like Rune Crabs anymore, because we don't have Into the Story, we don't have Low Mage's Domination, we have a lot more removal to be better against the aggro decks. To compensate against control decks, we have some more hard counters, so we have a nice little game plan there with just like the Foretell package. We have counter still, some cheap flash threats. So I really like the idea of this deck and what it's doing. I think it might be like the next iteration of Rogues. Also Valki. Love going up on Valky's as a way to good against the green creature decks. That Naya Adventures deck with sort of the combo kill in the instant that doubles creature's power is popping up. I love the front side of Valki against green creature decks, and then also the back side is an additional way to win the late game now that we don't have Into the Story. So I think it's really smart to lean into those. And I really just like the idea of this deck. I think Crippling Fear is a great card in the metagame right now, too. I like being able to take advantage of that. I went up to 3 in my last Rogues Rest. This deck, I think this iteration used it even better. So I have high hopes for this. I played 1 or 2 matches before, won them both pretty easily. I actually played a historic match by accident, one of them too, so I played 3 matches, also won that one easily. I actually think like a fun challenge I might do is 1 month, if there aren't any like tournaments I'm particularly worried about, is I might try and play a standard deck on the historic ladder like the whole time. I think that would be like a fun way. I think I can get pretty low with it, honestly, especially Rogues, because there's really Rogues is like a really high power level deck, but there's really not like hate for it in historic. Like people don't play escape cards, so I think that might be a fun one to try and do. I don't know if anyone's done anything like that before. Here we have a good hand. Drown and Loch definitely a little worse in this list. Without the crabs, we powered up. Not quite as good. I noticed that, but still a really powerful card. Shangeth the deck. I'll keep. If they don't play a creature, I'll be pretty happy to just okay, they do play a creature. What do we want to do? I think I like just getting the tomb down. Could use the scribes a little bit early. Pull it in the late game. But I think I like just getting this on 9. Okay. I'll keep that. I'll be pretty happy to trade that for that. So... Here we're going to try and trade the Thieves Guild Enforcer for the Bounty, Scry, try and fund another land, hold up, Drown and Loch, or Behold the Multiverse. It works out. I'm actually going to kill this here. Seems like it's something I want to get in play and protect. Don't want them to like power anything out early. I'm pretty happy to hold up the other Drown Loch and then the Mazemind activation. And this game's looking great for us. As you can see, this is sort of why I like moving away from Into the Story maybe is we'd only have them on a couple cards right now. We already have all this going, so that one can resolve. We have a lot of removal spells. I'd rather draw the card here. Potentially save the Drown Loch too. Not quite going to get down a red source. I'll use this now because we pick up another counter spell. Now we have Mazemind activation. Saw it coming up. A lot of Transcended Envoys. A little curious what the opponent's doing. They got it. Alright, so I get it now. They're like, White-Red Aura's deck. Feeling a little aggressive with Runestone Champion. Is that Rune Champion or something like that? I'm going to go ahead and foretell on one of each of these. We'll still hold up a counter spell. Threaten activation on this. Possible I should foretell just the Saw It coming. And then I have up 2 counter spells, or can Behold the Multiverse if they do something I don't need to counter. I'm kind of like just getting these essentially set up though. Sure. It's a good pickup. Great pickup. Bottom of the removal spell, because we already have interaction. They're not really doing anything. Looking more for threats. Potentially red source to get this down. That I will counter. Gonna kill them pretty quick with Leech at 4 power. Play now. Doesn't really affect their curve at all. Get some more damage, more mills. Not really our curve, I guess, but our mana usage. Use the term a little liberally there. So, opponent really hasn't been doing much. Giving us a little time to do all this, but having like no real problems with the card advantage engines here. I'm pretty happy to have the deck configured like this. We're still sort of doing our thing. I'm gonna counter that. And not at the liability of being reliant on having our opponent at a threshold, essentially, for our rogue stuff. I could look for the last one to kill him here. I may as well. I'll also happily just take counter spells. Bottom of the Tome. Tome's good, but we have cards. I just want counter spells. Yeah, definitely get rid of that one with haste. They'll be able to cantrip a couple times here, but I can't imagine it's going to be any sort of issue. We're at 20 life. Only have 2 mana left to work with. I actually could have won on the last turn too if I had Valki as the very first thing I did. I like doing the Behold first. If I Valki'd as the very first... Ooh, actually I think, yeah, if I Valki'd pre-combat too, even after playing Behold, I could have played the on-tap land, given that thing haste. I didn't expect them to have haste creature, and I kind of just wanted to have the most information possible. I considered just in case we milled anything that I wanted to crypt, I wanted to have the 4 mana up. I mean, not crypt, to cling. I wanted to have the mana up for that. But in hindsight, if I did a pre-combat, I could have actually attacked for lethal that turn. So... possibly small mistake on my part, but I did at least have a plan. A little unsure how to board here. I think these will be nice. Go up on a clang just in case they have something. I could probably go down on some of the clunkier stuff. Do I need the tomes? Tome. Could do this. Behold, Tybalt, Clings might be enough to pull ahead on cards. They don't really seem like they have good ways to outcard us. Mostly just worried about being too clunky against them. Sorry, I have the hiccups. Got some water at least. Hand seems good. They take a mulligan too. I do like that we're kind of in control deck, but we still have this like efficient creature package. Can still lean on Lurrus too. Very powerful card, obviously. Can Valki to get a rune champion here. I think I'm gonna do it. We have plenty of ways to find them later. Small consideration since we have so much removal, we can just kill Tybalt. But we'll have plenty of time to find something before we get there, so do this. I should have made that a swamp actually, just in case we want to do both these next turn. And now that we don't have blow, still probably some bad habits from playing the last deck. Battlefield returning number. I think taking this one might be more valuable. We have like interaction for this one too, so. And taking the 3 power thing would be better. But yeah, as I was saying, still have some probably bad sequencing habits from just playing so many reps with the old rogues list, where I may potentially play my lands a little wrong, favoring something like Low Mage's Domination. So gotta be a little, yeah. So see, like we're gonna get a little punished by here probably, because I would have wanted to do both of these. No, I cannot. It's not going to be the end of the world, but definitely it's a mistake. It's a good pickup. Not exactly what we're looking for. I haven't played too much with this card. Very impressed. It's very good. I'm sure that's kind of obvious to those who have, but I've played against it plenty of times too, and would like to think I'm a strong enough Magic player to identify a good card, but definitely surpassing expectations a little bit. The auto tapper actually getting that right too. They normally always like want to leave up your odd color, but do we be mana efficient here? Yeah. Yeah, potential. I was thinking potential mistake to get the Lurrus there, because I would have probably in a lot of situations wanted to hold for a counter spell. I like getting the Lurrus though. I think there's not too many punishing plays. Like even with this, they get a card. I'm just gonna kill in response if they go for it. So I didn't really think there were too many things that can punish me. Showdown of the Skulls would have been a big one, but to have that. Turns this on, got a nice little clock going. Alright, so obviously fake deck sort of, Pony Mulligan, but just seeing how the deck functioned from our perspective at least. I'm very intrigued by this list. I think I'm a big fan of it. Got to get a lot more reps in with it. List's definitely rough too. Like it's very not new concept because it's just rogues, but the idea of leaning on something that isn't. Ooh, there's a Doom Foretold as a prize card. That's kind of nice. That's a useful card. I don't think I've ever gotten like a good card off of that. Having connection issues. Love to see it. Probably gonna have to restart. Sorry about that, guys. Yep. That work? Okay, cancel. I'm probably just gonna restart Arena. Do that quickly. Sorry for the delay. Yeah, like I said, very impressed by the deck. Definitely needs some work, but I like what it's done. I think it's definitely a good potential metagame call. It's fixing a lot of the issues I had with rogues. Taking forever. Alright, finally, looks like we're getting back in. I'm having fun playing the deck too. It's kind of takes away the more frustrating draws. Like Rogue is a really fun deck to play, at least I believe it is, and then a lot of the frustrating draws are when you get like into the stories and low mages domination stuck in your hand. So I like that this deck feels a little smoother in that regard. It's fun to play. It's a little refreshing too, just like a new take on one of my favorite archetypes. Sounds good. Yorion decks are something a bit slower. We'll keep this. I don't mind another black source. If we end up flooding out too, it has value. But also happy to keep it because I'll probably go like turn 2 Riverglide into Tome, and then turn 3 leave up Saw It Coming, and I want double black so that if we don't use it I can double Enforcer. So I'll do this. I'll do this. Alright, wasn't sure if we were going to need a draw disruption, so nice to get this through. The bottom 2 too. Probably the Soul Tyrant deck. It's based on the fact that they're Yorion and Soul Tie, and play to Cultivate. So the Emergent Ultimatum deck. I like our matchup here too. I think it gets a little better. Just we had 4 more extra hard counters. The biggest problem with that matchup sometimes you just run out of hard counters. They have a lot of top end. I'll scry here. I like to draw, but yeah, see. See, just like having the density of counters. Always hate wasting scries with this card, but it definitely is useful. Always want max value just as a draw 4. Start with this, see what they do. Probably just going for the 2. I want to get a clock going, but if they don't have like Eliminate or Heartless Act here, works out really well to play the second. We trigger up to 8. I feel like they just have a removal spell here, though. I'd rather use my mana efficiently. I'd rather get used out of this card. If they didn't have like exactly 2 up with the black mana, I feel a little bit more inclined to just play this. But I'm gonna draw. I like on the value here. I think there's gonna get a removal spell, but only make a difference getting 1 damage in. So we're gonna draw. What do I do? So many options. This deck already has so many options because you can cast all your cards, and now the adding Foretell really, these are some tricky turns. You really gotta have exactly what you want to do mapped out. There's really no shortcutting or autopiloting, or at least I don't know the patterns yet well enough because I haven't really played it. But all right, let's attack first. All right, I think I'm gonna do this. Try and get the damage in. I could wait though. I think I'm gonna wait because I think they might go for like a Shadow's Verdict or Extinction Event on their turn. I'll just get in the 1 here. I'm going to play an untapped land because if I have to Saw It Coming, I'd like to be able to do that too. Or I can potentially Mazemind Tome, Drown and Loch, or Behold. So I just think it just gives me the most options. Alright, that's fine. I like this play because it just gives me the most options on their turn. And we're getting to some critical points in the game where I just want to make sure I can have the right reaction for what they do. We have the answers, and I just want to make sure I can react accordingly and not get too hasty doing anything. Okay, so what's the best thing to do here? I think I saw it coming into Thieves Guild Enforcer. It's a good use of our mana. We get a clock going. Untap. Okay, I'm gonna foretell one of these, play one of these, and attack. Not scrying there. We have everything we want. If I was really concerned, I could have looked for a 5th untapped land so that we could do 2 things, but I don't think we're at that point yet. Though it seems like we might be. If they have like Negate here, that'd be annoying. Okay, we get it through. Maybe not. Yeah, it's annoying. Alright, so maybe a slight misstep on my part. It's definitely going to cost us a bit. We're in good shape still, though. We still have 2 hard counters. We have funny ways to go up on cards. I'm very happy just playing a nice slow game right here. Have double counter up. Don't really want to burn the cards off of this. Just going to come down to trying to outcard them at this point. I think we should be able to do that pretty easily. No thank you. Don't hate that. I'm going to bottom it. Just the red source would be nice if we find a Tybalt or Valki at some point, but then we can foretell one of these here because leaving 2 up does nothing and only 1 doesn't really affect our mana. Alright, going to counter that. Okay, not the worst pickup. Just gonna pass. Fully expecting like a haymaker here. We're gonna have to find a counter spell. We'll have a couple looks between the Behold and the Page. Okay, oh damn. What do I want to do here? I might do these 3, so we'll start on this. Keep the red source. Do it in this order to play around. Draw Disruption. Alright. I don't think I'm going to go for Tybalt here. Could get punished. Kind of just crushing it. Leave up Drown and Loch with mana played around Disruption. How many counters we have left? We use 4 for the 5th. We still have 3. Now I'll go for it. Basically just have to dodge his turn probably. Even then, okay, it's not that bad. As long as I don't find something good next turn. Funny how bad this is against Foretell. I've obviously noticed playing discard spells. I've been on the other side of that. One, two. Yeah, sure, I'll cultivate. Can still leave up 2 and find a counter. It's fine. I'm not gonna dig for like a Soaring Thought-Thief there. Just want to wait till end of turn. Alright. Deck looks good there, like as I expected. The extra additional hard counters make it kind of easy. Post board more to worry about, but this matchup's always a little interesting, where a lot of the lists board differently. Some have Plukernos on the board, which makes me want Cling. A lot have Cosma or whatever in the board, which makes you want more Heartless Acts. I like Soul Shatter as like a hedge against it. Part of the reason why I have it in the deck too. It was one of the only things that doesn't demand an answer immediately. Like a lot of times you have to have the Heartless Act when they play the Cosmo, and you have to have it up. And Soul Shatter, you at least like have a turn or 2 to find it. I think like 2 Heartless Act, 4 Drown, 2 Soul Shatter should be plenty of answers to it. Can't even go down to like one of these. They don't play that much graveyard stuff. Could probably trim on some Valkis. Maybe even just do this. Just counter their stuff, kill them. We have plenty of answers to everything. I think this should be fine. A little unsure if we can afford to go to 0 of these, but I think we'll just be able to. The problem is if they overboard on removal, it gets a little tricky. They really just like kill all their stuff. That could be annoying. I think I'm going to want like 2 of these. At the very least 1. Maybe just go on. I can do this. And I'll try this. Should maybe have the second Heartless Act. I think it's a good matchup. I'm a little afraid of just getting cheesed out by the Serpent, but It is bad if we draw like 2 Heartless Acts. Sounds good. Nice guy here. Could use a counter spell. Have other ways to get cards. Especially if they have a lot of mana already. I'll dig for a Saw coming. Yeah, they have a lot of mana. Alright. Gonna upkeep Scry too, if we don't find it. That would be good, but they're already on so much mana. I have 2, 4, so they'll have 7 mana next time. They'll have too many green to ultimatum, but they can still do a lot of stuff with 7 mana. I'm going to keep this. Hoping their plays Cosma. That's something they can cast. They can't ultimatum. We can get this down. I guess I could bottom, and then if I brick, I'll just Valki. But no, I think I'm going to keep. I really feel like their play is probably Cosma. I like having an answer to it. They can't ultimatum on the next turn. Actually, they can, right? Is ultimatum 3 green? I think I did this in the last video too, so I don't know. They have Swamp. They can actually ultimatum. Alright. We have the Valki, so I'll bottom. And we draw it. Alright. Yeah, I'm smart and realize. For some reason, I thought they would have 4 green. But I just realized they'll have triple green. Which is, I think, is what ultimatum is. I should really know that. It's supposed to be good. Okay. All for nothing. Now I have some concerns if their play is Cosma. We don't have a good answer. Because I can't Valki and leave up Saw coming. 2, 4, 6. But they didn't slam it last turn. Makes me think they're setting up makes me think they're setting up a merge ultimatum with dispute. They can do that next turn. Just gonna pass. I'll attack and pass. I guess I could foretell this. If I do nothing, I'll draw a card off this instead of casting this. Probably better anyway. They won't have ultimatum plus dispute, right? 2, 4, 7, 8. No. It's bad if they had 6 mana card plus dispute. So then we could have played around it. Now we can't. Okay, seems like they're just digging here. But obviously. Alright, hopefully don't get punished here. No big thing with counter backup. Okay. Cultivate's fine. Could drown it, but I definitely want to draw a card instead. Also, Drowned Loch is our best Cosmancer right now. We just got to get him up to 5 cards. Oh, I mean 7. They're going up to 5, sorry. Alright, great pickup. Alright, so we have a decision on tap line here. Actually, maybe... I kind of like Valki. We'll take the Yorion. Play the Riverglide, then we still have a counter Dispute. Okay. We can get around that, right? A Ultimatum 7, then Negate. Alright. This is going to work out fine for us. 3, 5, 7, 9. Yeah, they don't quite have enough. They're on. Yeah, they don't have enough to double Negate. Puts them up to 7 cards too, so this turns on for that. Though they do have another counter, so we've got to be a little careful. Might even throw in a scry here. I kind of want the card. But if you find double counterspell, we're pretty safe. Yeah, we have this to draw. It's a clock. Real tough. This X was already tough to play, and it's possible I'm just not used to doing how to sequence everything yet, what to value, mixing the Fratellan with everything. But it's been a tough one. I think I'm gonna keep this. I like upping the clock. It'll be pretty important. I actually should have done that. I should have done that after attacking already, because I don't want to mill extra cards. As soon as I get them to 8, I don't want to mill extra cards, because I don't want to potentially mill them into something good. So that was a mistake. Shields are down here if they have something big, because they have the Negate backup that we know about. I left it up in case they had to do something in the card like cycle, but we use so much more of our mana now to like get all these cards that it seems like Lurrus comes up way less. Because like Into the Story is such an efficient 4 mana, 4 cards, and then that's how you regas up and you invest the 4 mana. Now we're putting a lot of mana into our cards now, but we're still getting the cards at least. That's fine. Should just win here. I'll counter, negate. Yeah, super dope. It's like a wolf, right? But it shouldn't matter. Alright, deck's looking good so far. We'll play one more match. Those two are quick. I have some time. I wonder if I get like against an aggro deck, like we beat the ramp deck right there. Dimir is one matchup that I'm pretty sure gets way worse. Hopefully not too popular though. I really don't like the red matchup from the typical one. So hopefully it's on the downtrend a little bit. I think Dimir match we'd probably get a little stomped in. Probably not worth fixing either, but it's also still winnable, and I do like how we have the deck now. I think the aggro matchups and like the ramp matchups, as you saw, got better. Alright, gonna keep. Part of this is now we're playing like basically a control deck, but we still just have hands like this that can just apply pressure. We'll get this down. Probably just going to Bloodchief Thirst at some point, but we'll take the Soaring Thought-Thief, that's fine. Probably still play the Tome next turn. No rush to kill this. It's not a bad pickup. That's fine. Can't block, they could just change it. I need a land. Alright, brutal. Probably just pass. I like leaving up to drown here. No tax though. Honestly, I think I might be willing to trade here. They like the Rakdos deck. I'm really not interested in milling too much. We're just going to win the late game probably with a Tibalt. Just don't want to die. Definitely going to outcard them. And just since we're like stumbling, I basically just hit one or not. It's awkward. I think we have enough to get it back. I think I just need to keep the board cleared though while I get out of this like jam. And they can't get it back for another turn. I guess now it's their turn 4. They can go land here. But still think I should. Meant to make an upkeep stop. Fortunately, it works out. Would have kept. Bottom. I'm going to draw a card here rather than foretell this. Or play this. We've managed to dodge Croxus so far. It's kind of nice. Alright, getting a little clunky here. It's definitely, it could be an issue for this deck. Against specifically Rakdos, I think, like I said, it's good that we're less reliant on milling our opponent, but against specifically Rakdos, I do think this matchup probably gets worse. Because a lot of times I like leaning into milling them with crabs. I'm just like dealing with the escape threats every turn. It's also hard to say because we've been stuck on lands this game, but it does feel like we are way worse at pressuring, which I think is how you win this matchup. So like I said, we're still getting the cards, but we're doing it less efficiently. And I think that matters here. So a lot of times in this matchup, you just kind of have to power through regardless. Because it's hard to both draw cards, invest mana in drawing cards every turn, while also investing mana into killing their things. If that makes sense. I think I can maybe look to play it better too. They also just like had their mill stuff, which kind of just made it like it felt just honestly like playing a control deck against this deck. Like they just have recursive threats and we were trying to control the game. Alright, that's annoying. Guess I'll eat the token here. Even if they make me sack a creature, I'm trading for this anyway. Maybe I'll trade for a Mire Trade. I need to save damage. I got a scry in here. Take 8, 10. Nothing I can really draw. Kill this, die. It's hard to tell how the matchup feels exactly after that. I feel like I like it a little less. That being said, we also just missed land drops. I think the Valkies are big. Would be really nice to steal a Kroxa game. Steal a game with Kroxa. I think I'm going to want some of these based on how that played out. Because if we're going to be a control deck, we have to actually be good at that. I wonder if we can even... Like, it'd be nice if we could, like, board out these and then just board in, like... It'd be nice if we could do something like this. I just don't know if we'll be good enough at winning. I kind of like it, though, because this really doesn't feel like what, I just feel like we're not going to get there doing that. Just went on with Tibble. Alright, I'm going to try this. This looks like the best thing for us to be doing, I think. Possible we're just like a little weak to Croxes and the recursive stuff doing this. Like we need a way to actually clock them. But I want to try it. Keep. Alright, let's try and get some cheese. Croxa, no removal. Doesn't work, but I am very happy to hit the Bone Crusher here. They don't have a red source, so they can't claim Village Rights. So I'm gonna take the Bone Crusher over the Shade. Alright, good pickup for them. Brick. Alright, they didn't brick. They have to hit their Wash Rider though if they want to do to. Crippling Fear on God at some point, hopefully good. Keep that. They fortunately turned their Drown and Lock on for one of these, so. Alright, again, I have to hit their Woe Strider. That's working out well for us, at least. I think I'm just going to go afraid here. We got to take care of this. They're breaking. If they break one more turn, we'll on tap with counters and take the game pretty easily. So I think it's a pretty nice situation to try and take advantage of. Even if they do, like, hit the red source, do this, this, and bring back this, like, we'll be in okay shape. Not good, but, like, we could still win. Alright, there's a God. These are not gods. Got it. We'll go for the Village Rights here. Soul Guide Lantern or something. If you're gonna do the Sideboard plan, Soul Guide Lantern or something, I might consider boarding. The person Tesla Cow, who I say they got the list from, they had it in. They played both challenges. They top 8 at one, they like top 32 at the other, and the list was pretty different. They ended up cutting the card, so I thought it maybe wasn't good. That worked out about as well as it could for us, though. seems unlikely we're going to need double counter. I kind of, if we draw land, I want to be able to play it just so we can start doing everything. So I'm going to main phase this. Okay. That we will counter. A little awkward. I have to use the Saw It Coming because they could nuke their yard here. They don't really have anything good in it. I do really want to counter this. Try and set it up at least so that if we like go to counter on the next turn. Alright, that's bad. Guess I did want double counter spells. Okay. As I was saying, I was hoping like Heartless Act, like if we do go to Drown Loch, then they crack the Soul Guide, we can at least like Heartless Act in response. Alright, this is looking rough for us. I think to build the deck like this, I may need some Soul Guide Lanterns. Can honestly maybe even just replace the Clings on the board with them. I think they'd work well with how the deck plays now. Probably change, I'll try. I think it would help this matchup a lot, just being able to rebuy Soul Guide Lanterns. I want to leave the Heartless Act up for the Rankle. They have so many ways to deal with this. I'm just going to let that happen. If I was playing like a tournament, right, like a regular tournament, I might not be too concerned with this matchup. But honestly, with the way the Mythic Qualifier weekend thing kind of is, I think people actually play these like decks. I don't really want to lose to it. Alright, we can go to 6 here. There's their hand. Okay, this is going to work out okay because they're going to Village Rites. They're going to Village Rites, so that we'll put this in the yard, and then if we go out to Virgin Loch and they want to counter it, they have to nuke their Croxa. Nah, it will not be that bad for us. I'm going to pitch one, though, expecting it to get bad. The rest of our cards at least do something. I really expected them to Village Rites that. I would say it's actually bad they didn't. That's pretty surprising. Alright, I'll draw a card though. Maybe us like discarding that tipped it off, but I don't think so. Unfortunately, don't have double black. I'd really like to be able to cling and then kill this, but I can go to 7 here, I think. I do want to cling the Croxa. So tough. Cling Croxa and pass. And probably just Soul Shatter something. Soul Shatter gets around Village Rites, which is kind of nice. That's fine. Okay. Patel, probably just going to cast it here. Hopefully they just go for Bone Crusher Giant end of turn. We'll We'll go to 7. We'll cast Behold, Duncan, Crippling Fear. Buy some time. We'll be at 7. We'll have Cling though. Hopefully rebuy some life. To exile that. Maybe we can get Lurrus or something. Definitely an uphill battle, but making it work. Okay. Basically same plan still. Lands. How good are lands? Lands are a little good. I think 1 land is better than 2. How many cards do we have in our yard? We have 6 for this. Alright, I think I'm going to keep 1 land because I maybe want to Bloodchief the big one, then Cling it. And then save the Crippling Fear for when they... that thing. Bone Crusher. Okay, that's good too. They might crack that here, and if not, then we just play that. Alright. I guess we don't have to do this now. They want to fizzle like the 3 damage. That's fine. Yeah, it does nothing. Gives them a heads up to not play the Bone Crusher here. It's just what it does. Possible is worth countering for that reason, but I don't think so. Alright, we're doing stuff. We can make this one happen. Like a Tybalt away from not too shabby. They Soul Guide here to fizzle the 3. That's fine. I think we'll still be okay. That's a good pickup too. Been playing a bunch of this card. I've been thinking a lot about what hopefully they sack the Shade. If they go for a Rights, it would be a big mistake to sack the Shade. Because then if we drown, they have to exile both of theirs. So hopefully if they go for the Rights, alright, wow, they messed up big time. Alright, because I want to counter this, and now if they want to... Yeah, because both are in the yard now, right? Yeah, it's in the yard. Alright. I was going to get this down, but now I'm going to try and counter this. Yeah, they messed up. They should have sacked the Valki. Oh, did they not even do it right? Oh, they drew... They hit my yard. I think they messed up. Been naming Unicorn. The other day I was hanging out with my girlfriend. I told her to name a creature type because I had no creatures in play on a Crippling. She told me to name Unicorn, so I've been going with Unicorn. She doesn't play Magic at all, so I just said name like a thing she would expect to be in Magic. Did I die? Said I died. Ah, I thought we were going to pull that one out. I'm confused what happened to the Shade. Because I see one in exile. I guess I didn't see exactly what happened on that last turn. I might have to watch that one back. But anyway, I like the deck a lot. Going to keep working on it. I really like the idea of it, actually. I think it solves a couple of the issues I had. If the red-black matchup picks up, I think I'm going to try Soul Guide Lanterns. That would really help that matchup a lot. I think actually make it good. You could have like the Soul Guide Lantern Lurrus engine a little bit. I think that'd be pretty big for it. But anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. Going to be back with a bunch of content coming up. I'll be streaming. Actually, something I want to mention too, I'm going to be doing Jim Davis, a good friend of mine. I'm going to be doing his Mog Monday challenge next Monday from whenever this video comes out. I'm going to be repping one of my favorite archetypes of Death Shadow. I'm going to be playing Death Shadow in Modern, Legacy, and I've been brewing up an idea for a Scourge of the Skyclaves deck to function as like a shadow deck in Historic. So we're going to be battling those on our streams on Monday. I'll link my Twitch stream in the description. It's twitch.tv/thebetterjessup. I'll probably I want to do a video with the Death Shadow deck. I think is kind of sweet. I'm going to do a video with that sometime this week. It might be my next one. I might do it tomorrow, but also keep a lookout for, I'll probably do another 1 or 2 videos with decks I'm considering for the Mythic Qualifier weekend, and then before the Mythic Qualifier weekend I will be posting my full list and sideboard guide for what I decide on my Patreon, which I'll also link in the description. So I got a lot of stuff coming up. Kind of excited about it all. Thanks for watching, everyone. Keep an eye out for it.